You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. What up, everybody? It's your boy, Al Mega. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders Podcast. And today, I'm excited, man. We have a guest that came on over 109 podcasts ago. My man at the time was touring with the movie on the indie circuit, and now he's back. The homie's tearing it up on the VOD channels with the movie Samland. And not just that, he got two people from the film right here. The actor and actress of the film is amazing. Check it out. Introduce the big homie first, the one and only Juan Pablo.
All right. What's up, Al? Thanks for having me back, man. It's been a while, huh?
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, 109 episodes ago.
109 episodes after, right? We had, like, a lifetime has sort of passed since we last spoke, man.
That's media-wise, like going back to the dinosaur age. Like, geez.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been great. It's been a great journey. As you mentioned, we were, film festivals. We won a bunch of awards. We got Best Picture in Charlotte, Best Actor in Duden and Philly, Best Actress in Philly, Best Director for myself in Philly, which was great. Santa Fe, we got Best First Filmmaker award for that one. So we've just been killing it with the awards. Right. Yeah. So that was great, and then we got a great deal with Gravitas Ventures, and we've been on video on demand for about 3 months now.
Wow.
And it's been exciting. So that's been the new chapter. And but I'm excited to introduce you to the cast. You finally get a chance to talk to the cast.
Yeah, let's bring them on. Let's bring them up. First up, ladies first, the one and only very talented Hannah Balicki.
Hello.
Oh my God, right.
Hannah.
Yes, you did.
Yay, where's Hannah? How you doing?
Doing good. I can't complain.
Amazing actress. Wonderful job in the film.
Thank you so much.
And let's bring up the big homie too. That the tough man over here, and the awesome Spanglish movie that I love so much. My man was killing it in both languages. Where the one and only Carlos Montilla.
Hi guys, how are you?
All right, Carlos.
Hey, thank you for having us, Al.
No. Thank you for coming on. This is wonderful. It's not often I get to talk with such talented people. Especially in such a mixed and diverse film. Especially them doing some Spanglish all over it. I'm like, and I had people listening. Like, what did they say? I was like, damn, this has subtitles you can read. You're disturbing me. I'm in the story. What are you doing?
Imagine how I feel.
What happened?
Okay.
What do you want me to say? What does that mean? Right? Oh man. So yeah, this is awesome. So I know we've spoken of Juan Pablo before. I'm not trying to ignore you right now, but I need to know the story behind how you got even connected with these wonderful people here. So again, ladies first, let me start. I need to know the origin story, Anna. Like, where are you OG from? And when did you start your creative journey? And then how did you even hook up with Juan and get involved in this wonderful project?
So I am originally from South Florida. Represent.
Okay.
And as everybody knows, unfortunately, the film industry in South Florida is not popping the way that it usually is.
Parties are. They're popping bottles, right?
The parties and the bottles and, the cold drinks and the warm water. I mean, you can't beat that. But I mean, the film festival, I was going to school, I was going to college, and I actually fell into acting by accident. I was a fitness instructor who randomly ended up at a in-home video fitness casting for it was like I went to oops. Yeah, no. I saw this advertisement for this in-home fitness instructor video series. So I was like, okay, that'd be cool. So while I was there, it was obviously in a casting office in Miami, my first time actually in a casting office, and another casting director who I didn't know who was a casting director at the time. I just thought he was like a creepy guy just kind of staring at me. He comes up to me.
Weirdo.
He comes up to me and he's like, hey, do you act? And I'm like, no, I don't. And he's like, I think you can. Let's give it a try. So I was like, okay, whatever. What else am I doing? So ended up doing my first ever audition. His name is CJ Bornicelli. He's not a creep. He is an amazing guy, a wonderful casting director in South Florida.
Awesome.
He actually recently just started his own acting class and casting company. So really happy for him.
Hey,
I know, represent, he's really trying to push for Latina talent and, trying to really push them into the limelight. So he's doing a really good job with that. And through that audition, my agent that I had at the time for fitness stuff called me and she's like, hey, did you audition for this thing? Because you got a callback. And I'm like, I didn't know what a callback was. So I was like, well, no one called my phone. Nobody called me. What do you mean a callback? No one called me. She's like, no, that's not what it means. It means that they want to see you again. And from there, I've just been doing it ever since. And through one, for me personally, I hate sitting around and doing nothing if I feel like I can do more to progress myself. So I'm always online, like looking for projects that were coming to Florida, researching people that are filming in Florida, all that kind of stuff. And I came across a breakdown for Samland on backstage.com, I believe it was. And you had to download an app and you had to post up a 15-second improv audition to the app based off of the breakdown that Juan had provided based off of the characters. And I think the breakdown said something like she was kind of like a down and out type of character. And the whole thing is like you were in an interview with the ICE department with your significant other. And it was all improv, so you didn't have any other backstory other than that. So the first thing I did was go online and Google Juan, Google his past, projects, Google what his his genres usually were, his tone of everything. And from that, I was able to get a kind of really good concept of what he was looking for Sam, and did the thing, threw it up there, and stared at it for the next 2 weeks, waiting, just to find out that he did not pick me.
Oh, what happened there? What's the bochinche?
Just a little bit.
So what had happened was that we had made this whole presentation. So part of the process of procuring the funds for the project was to come up with what they call sort of a sizzle reel, right? So we had casted sort of the sizzle reel with Carlos, and there was another actress that was earlier involved with the project, and we had made the sizzle. We got some attention because of it, and then she was supposed to get the role originally, but fate sort of had it, and I had seen like Hannah's tape, and it was she had made an impression on me, right?
Yeah. And
I was like, man, like, am I making the right decision here? Like, I was like so on the fence about, like loyalty to the actress, but then like Hannah really impressed me. So it just happens that, everything kind of fell apart with the other actress. Just her agent got involved. There was a money situation. And so that kind of went away. And I was like, you know what? Hannah, I go,
Juan
it
Pablo's
opened
just
up.
a really good guy. He wants to be loyal. and honestly, that spoke volumes to me. I was like, you know what? It was originally her role. She did really well with it from the sizzle reel that you guys had up. So I couldn't even be mad. Like, yeah, I was like, dang, I really wanted it. And I was actually sitting at a friend's condo in Miami, and I was actually having dinner with her talking about it. When you called me, you sent me an email or something. And you said, hey, Hannah, like, I want to talk to you about Samland. Give me a call when you can. So I was like, should I make him wait? And I was like, and so,
how many cups of wine were you in already? You're like too deep.
I know, right?
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I can finish this drink. No, I got on my phone right away and I called you back. And then you offered me Sam. And I was, in the next couple of weeks, off on a plane to Los Angeles for the first time in my life. That was my first time ever.
Really?
Going to California. Yeah.
Right.
Crazy. Dope.
Yeah, crazy story.
Yeah, that's fire. God, I need to know about the bromance here too. How you guys got hooked up and your backstory. So where you OG from, kiddo?
Well, the way I got into this wonderful project was one of these cases that somebody who knows somebody else, and that somebody else knows the right guy, and the right guy talked to this other guy. Well, so I know this Venezuelan actress, Maria Elena, who knows Kathy, who's Diego's, the editor's wife.
Right.
And she told her that Juan was looking for an actor to do this presentation, not the film yet, but like the tease part of it, and then I would like to try it, and then luckily for me, fortunately for me, Juan Pablo chose me, because I know he had different options there, and so he decided that I was the right guy for the part, and I was happy. And this was, let me tell you, years ago. So really? This film hasn't been easy at all to make, because usually independent films are like that, but this one, we shot some footage and then we had to stop for months to shoot the rest of the film, and
wow,
it was
really
it was
original.
tough. It was a challenge, but everything turned out to be so beautiful.
Your original Sizzle was in 2016, wasn't it?
Whoa, really?
It was 2016.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I haven't aged that much, so we.
No, you haven't.
You're Latin. It's not fair.
You haven't.
That's when that brown skin come in helpful for real, yo. Let me tell you.
But at the beginning, my character was a Colombian guy, so I had to work on the accent and everything. But then,
so where you originally
Juan
from?
had the brilliant,
What's your background?
Oh, I'm from Venezuela.
So Venezolano, doing Colombiano. All right.
Yeah. So Juan had the brilliant idea of changing this from a Colombian to a Venezuelan, and it took a life of its own, and it was easier for me to create a more real character because of my background. I mean, I didn't have to fake an accent or work on an accent, and it was way easier that way. However, I kind of had the accent, right? The Colombian accent, Juan. You better say yes right now. You can tell me no after.
Well, no. What had happened now was that we started casting this movie, and it happened that a lot of the actors were Venezuelan. It just happened that way, where like actors were all Venezuelan. I'm thinking, well, why am I trying to force like another culture on these people? I'm like, let me just make it easy for everybody, and let's make everybody Venezuelan. And I'm all about keeping authenticity, right?
Yeah. Well,
so
I dig that.
I would rather have a movie that's about Venezuelans being acted by Venezuelans, just because it's more real. So that's how that worked out. But
that was great.
That's good on you, man. We don't see that too often. Sometimes I get upset because it's not just, I don't really care about the race swap too much. It's like, you got to understand that if you're going to portray that, please have the accent, right? Like Carlos mentioned.
Yeah.
Because people from El Caribe don't talk the same as a Central American, as a South American either. You know what I mean?
Well, it's the same thing when I watch shows on television, like that HBO special that they did about Chernobyl. I'm thinking to myself, the majority of the actors are British. You couldn't find one Russian or Ukrainian actor to do that job. I'd be pretty pissed if I was Russian or Ukrainian and I was an actor. And I'm like, you couldn't get one person to do that job. So representation is everything, like why find somebody to, obviously we're actors and that's our job. But, if you can find somebody from that culture, from that, that realm that is actually that person, why are you trying to make like whitewash and everything and throwing a British person at it or something? Because apparently every white person is British now, which is not true.
Tell me about it, yo.
And in this case, it was really interesting to have Venezuelans in this film, because usually you hear about Colombians or Brazilians or Mexicans. But very little about Venezuelans, and that gave that special touch to
Wait, Carlos, you're not Mexican?
Yo, man, let me tell you, how many people either say, are you Mexican or are you Cuban? Because I'm Florida, I'm like,
or Cubans, yeah.
I get Cuban a lot too.
Yeah.
Everybody just assumes because you're Latino that you're Mexican, you know, for the majority of it, right? Or that you could eat hot sauce. Like I don't eat hot sauce. I'm sorry.
Yo, me neither. Yo, when they tell them that, they're like, "Oh, and you call yourself Latino?" I said, "What you mean? Not all Latinos eat hot sauce."
Yeah, right.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
You know, I want to take a normal poo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. Right. So true though.
Yeah. So Juan, talk about that journey, yo. The journey. Look at that. He did a reel back in 2016, and then to see that from then to now where you're at, I'm like VOD smashing it, yo.
Yeah.
For the full-length feature. How did you feel, man? How is that journey to reach here now?
I mean, it's amazing, man. It's you know, you get to see sort of the fruit of your labor, right? I mean, the journey from that to making it, to raising the funds, to putting it together, to figuring things out during COVID as well, because we, you know, ran into that issue. And then getting accepted into all these festivals and getting sort of audience feedback and all that, and those awards and the whole 9 years, all the way up to when we got the deal with Gravitas Ventures and they were able to distribute the movie. And that was an amazing moment. Of course, I mean, that's like, you know, that's a dream come true, right? I mean, that's, you know, that's the American dream. That's
what was that moment like for you? Like right then and there, how did it happen? Was it a phone call? Was it an email?
It was an email, sort of an ongoing conversation, because we had a couple companies that were interested, but that was, like, in my mind, that company was the most impressive because they had a really good resume of other films that had been nominated for Oscars and just a really cool library of stuff. I thought that would be, you know, our best chance of getting Marvin, what's up, at getting some attention. So, you know, it worked out. And now we're in the process of working on the international part of it now too. We are in talks right now with a company in South Korea, so hopefully that works out really soon. So you might be seeing South Korea.
Yeah, you didn't say that to us.
That's a nice news update.
Update.
Yeah, that's really? We
late
just
breaking
acted
news.
in it.
It's like, what?
So that's what we've been working on right now. So now we're working on the international part of the whole thing and trying to get it out to a broader audience.
Oh, but you know, we keep talking about the movie. For you guys that don't know, let me do my quick little screen share here, because I do have the trailer up. I mean, how dare me if I wouldn't show how dope this movie is. Absolutely, folks. So let me put it on full screen too. Enjoy this awesome trailer.
I just wanted to have a regular American life, like everyone else. A house, to be accepted, a new chance. Padre era tremendo tipo. El camión, el tuyo y la gringuita, bueno, ahí te la dejo. Arranca.
Okay, all I want is my ceremony and the...
There's no money. You drained him for your drugs.
He told me he was going to pay me.
Tumbaste la piñata, huevo.
Mamá, mira que se parecía.
Lo encontramos. You'll never find us.
Just help me get my jungle back.
Ten cuidado. En ese hueco no te saca nadie.
Married Samantha so you could stay in the United States. And you can just go back to Venezuela.
Man, I do love Sam.
There it is.
No, there it is. All right.
Uh-oh. I think
Hello?
you're muted.
You back, man?
There we are.
There you go.
There we go. Wasn't that dope, folks? Right? Look at that.
Love scopes. Thanks, Marvin.
That looks really great, right, folks? I mean, and so I want to know, Carlos, what was like your favorite scene in this movie that you played? So every we could see is like you got this role going on. You're like you're going through things. So where did you actually dig in, and then tell me about your favorite part in the movie?
I couldn't I couldn't really pinpoint a scene in particular because they were all so important to me. It was a process for each of them, and I like them all. I know it's hard to understand, but every one of them it was so important, and I enjoyed it so much. And you know, it was feeling like you are in a team so good, so talented, that I had scenes with Hannah that were great, and that I actually sometimes I think about Hannah, and I say Hannah doesn't know how great of an actress she is yet.
Oh yeah, we saw it there, just in that trailer. Just like on the sofa and acting when you mentioned about the drugs and she really displayed like, oh shit, Hannah.
And I had scenes with
Hannah here.
For somebody who's never really done drugs, I guess that.
Right.
Hey, maybe I smoked a doobie before.
With Luis Fernandez, who's a Venezuelan actor, he's a great actor as well. And Mimi Lazo, she's she's been in this business for years, and she's a stupendous actor and actress, and all of them were so good. So it's like it's difficult for me to say which scene I like the most, but there is a section in the film towards the end where there is like it was a wonderful editing job that it resumes, it tells you a lot of things that have happened, and I like that part. It really gets to me every time I watch the film. It was genius, that part, that editing part, and I know Juan had a lot to do with it, and I congratulate Diego, who's the editor as well. So yeah, sorry, that part is the one that
I love it all. He goes,
yeah, he loves it all.
Mine. Yeah, I thought, Carlos, you know what? You're proud of this baby. Why not? You
Yeah.
you did a wonderful job because you have a wonderful team. That's what it's about. But you, Hannah, did you have any moments? Because where were you digging into? Because you a thug on this. You out there. Like where were you digging into as an actress? And because again, you're a newbie in all this. You tell me I'm a newbie. Yeah, right.
Sam was she. Whenever I honestly even just think of her, I'm like, it's just exhausting. But honestly, Sam was kind of like when I was early on in my acting career, and I was really trying to like think about, what can I do to kind of like, what do I like as an actor? Like, what do I like? And Sam was kind of like the perfect character of what I had in my head, of where if I were able to pick my own role, like out of a hat, like she would have been it. So I feel really lucky that that's the first feature that I was able to land on, because it gave me that expression of being able to kind of throw out there everything that I've had in my head about like who I want to be as an actor, and what like kind of emotions I want to portray. Because I like the gritty, I like the dark, I like the dry humor, but everything's still relatable. I like films that are about real life, and so with this film in particular, when I first watched it, it was really hard to just enjoy the film as a whole, because you're watching yourself, you're like, oh man, I could have done that a little bit different, or
look at me, oh god,
yeah, I know, okay, oh god, do I really sound like that, and you're cringing at yourself. And I feel like a lot of actors probably do that. And so when we watched it for the second time, when we were in New York, I was able to kind of enjoy it just as a film, and I was able to kind of just receive it as a whole like masterpiece. And so I was less judgmental on myself and more able to pick out parts of the film that I really, really did like. There's this one scene, and you guys both know where I'm going with this, but there's a scene in the film where we're in the parking lot of a motel right after they have like their sham marriage, and
Give my money.
We were fighting. I mean, and a lot of that that interaction between me and Carlos was it really was just us going at each other. Juan gave us the freedom and the liberty to kind of just use the script as a backbone and kind of just be ourselves. And I feel like that's why I feel like Sam came off a lot more like realistic for me, because I was able to kind of just, talk the way that I talk, which is I talk fast, I talk over myself. In this situation, like Sam is really just talking at him. She doesn't care if he's absorbing anything. She's just getting everything out, because she's an angry person at that moment. She feels lost. She feels trapped. And so it was kind of like this dance between like me and Carlos, where we were just constantly like moving around each other. If there was a behind the scenes video of it, it would have been hilarious, because it was Blaze holding the bounce board and Anza with the camera, and they're just moving with us all over the place. And on top of Brian with the boom, and he's trying to make sure that everything doesn't dip.
Trying to follow.
And then
I'm not trying to trip. Please.
Exactly. And then I get to throw my shoe at Carlos. And there was actually one take where, and I'm not athletic at all, so for me to land a shot dead on by throwing something, I felt really like proud of myself. But I also at the same time, I was like, "Are you okay?" Because I chucked my shoe at him, and it hit him square in the back.
Right here.
My training was like, keep going, live in the moment. But like me as a person, I was like, oh my God. Like,
I just think that every woman, you've been around Spanish influence. I think you've inherited the chancla throw. What happened? The chancleta throw. You earned it within the spirit. All the Latin mothers got in you and just helped you with that aim. But my mother got those heat-seeking chancla throws, go behind corners and all this shit. Never miss it.
Kind of messed me up.
I want to tell you, I think if there were mamas on any baseball team as pitchers, they'll dominate.
They'll be champions. Yeah,
really,
strikes every single
right. And I dare you hit, because the chancleta coming next if you hit it. All right.
Yeah.
But these are hits, guys. That you're gonna. There's the hit, right? So, what other hits are we gonna start doing? Juan, are you working on the next hit? I mean, with this same team or what? I mean, what's popping? I want to know.
So we are working on a new movie. It's called The Maids of Havana. It's a movie that we started with the same team. We're in the development process right now. We're breaking it down. We're looking at funding, and we're about to start the screenplay. So that's the next one. We've been starting it. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
It's coming up soon. How long is it going to take? Hopefully it doesn't take 8 years again, but I'm trying to shorten the amount of time.
Because that was the question Marvin had. He's like, how long did it take to film and edit? So you said 8. It's been an 8-year journey.
Well, if you think about it, right, from screenplay to from concept to screenplay to the pitch video to now, 2022. I mean, we're talking 2014 probably when I started, really sort of writing it and sort of hitting it hard, and then 2016 when we did that presentation. So
it's a baby. Time. It's walking now. It's in elementary school right now. Right? It's a kid, bendito, no more diaper. There's all this power in the world.
It takes a while. Yeah. It's and it's patience. Yeah, and it's a lot of patience, and you got to keep pushing and perseverance, and we had a lot of obstacles. It wasn't easy because it was expensive. So like a lot of it's about the money, and
there you go. Dedication.
And, it takes time to raise the funds. It takes time to figure it out, but that was an advantage for us because we were able to sort of break things down. I remember, so we shot it in 3 phases, and every break that we got, we would sort of go over our footage and go over our notes and
always
really kind of and we would be able to break it down. And I was able to work with Hannah and Carlos, especially towards the end of it, and we were really able to sort of rehearse and talk about the characters and the scenes and really break things down.
How much freedom?
It's kind of an advantage.
So you say they have a lot of freedom to be able to ad-lib like a scene,
right?
So you did that with purposeful intent from the beginning.
Yeah, well, part of my background is I come from reality television, right? So reality television is very much in sort of the documentary vein where everything just happens and you capture things as they happen, right? So I'm of that school of thought. So going into this, also being a co-writer on it too, I was able to, I was able to throw things away, because what happens is when you write something and you shoot something, it doesn't quite. It doesn't quite work the way you think it's going to work in your head until you see the actors.
Unless it's television.
Yes.
Unless
it's TV. And then it has to be, a certain way. But But in this case, it's like the actors are bringing a lot of themselves to it, and I keep myself open to that because they would find things I wouldn't find. They'd say things that I wouldn't know how to say in my own words, and they'd say it in a different way that would be better. So it's very collaborative, and I was always very open, and I gave them enough space to sort of play because we would always find a better way to do it, you know?
And
so
we appreciated that very much, Juan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I'm hearing from people who keep telling me, like, not everybody works that way, but that's the way I work, you know?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you're probably the 2% that really allows that. I mean, I think that it is a special type of talent, really, when you can bounce off of people who improv and kind of and roll with it. Because as an actor, a lot of actors are they have to train for improv. They don't know how to deviate from the script. They get stuck. They don't know how to kind of just bounce off of their own words. And so to be able to work with somebody like Carlos and Luis and, you know, Alejandro and all those actors, Mimi, I mean, everybody, there was a little bit of improv for everybody in there, you know, and just those conversations and on that go kind of flow type of thing. So, I mean, obviously with Carlos, who I worked with the most, scene work wise, it was really great because he picked up what I put down and we bounced off each other a lot. And, you know, like every single time we would go to do a scene, no matter if it was the first year, the second year, or the third year that we were doing this or coming back to it, I was always intimidated to act with Carlos. I'm like, he is so calm and collected. And I'm over here like, and like I would watch him like work. Like even there was a couple of days where you guys were filming and I didn't have any scenes. And so I would sit there like a child and I would watch him do his scenes. And I'm just like, damn, like I want to be that composed, that composure that you have as an actor, Carlos, is very admirable because I struggle with that so hard. Like, just stop moving, Hannah. Just don't move. Because when I don't move, I forget how to speak.
I have the same problem. Even right now, I'm moving my legs over here. I have a bad habit like that. I started doing some, you know, I had a job where I would get a pen, you know, the clicky pen. And you know, I talk on the phone. I didn't realize I'm going quick. Yo, one day my coworker just give me that effing pen. Here's another pen with no clicky thing. Like I don't allow you to have those in the office no more. Like, what happened? You're driving me crazy.
Yeah.
But the improv was able to really help with that and to kind of allow me to get out. You know, because I don't know if she would come off the same way if you had us verbatimly stick to the script. I really don't think so. And
I don't think it would have worked.
I think that you enjoyed it too. I think that you enjoyed watching it develop too.
I enjoyed it too because it's you know you guys would bring things that were interesting to the mix, right? So like, oh, I didn't think of that, or we would get somewhere with it and they're like, oh, let's try this or let's go there with it. So it was always an outline. It was never married
Juan
to the
didn't
world.
like
That was
something.
never
He was
that.
very elegant.
You know,
elegant. Let's go ahead and do these better.
Just a little bit.
How about
a little bit here? How about that?
He'd ask a question. He'd be like, "Do you want to do one more? You know, because we could do one more."
A nice little passive aggressive.
It's that balance, you know. You got to be, because you know,
I'm
like
not telling you it was
director,
horrible, but I think we need one more.
right. But you know, but it's also, you know, it's you're also a coach, right? So you got to keep, you know, keep everybody engaged and keep, you know, positive vibe on set, and so it's out of that balance of like. But I also want to get what I need to get, but then I also want to give you guys the freedom to be able to work. So you know,
that's great politicking, bro. See, that's why I enjoy shows like, you know, like the Curb Your Enthusiasm, because he kind of works like that way. Here's the scene, and you guys go with it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's fun stuff. This is why I connect with the movie too, because you guys are being real. I mean, in Carlos, I mean, like Hannah said, serio, tipo. I mean, for real, yo. Like Carlos ain't want to mess. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'll get you a beer too. I ain't gonna bother you, homie. Here you go. I love that.
Literally.
Yeah, bro. So for real, man, were you inspired by any specific character when you were digging into the character you were portraying in the film?
Not really. I was just trying to figure him out, the core of it, you know, go deep into why he would say things like that, or why would he behave that way. It was so interesting. in a way, I'm kind of like him, because the guy is Venezuelan and I'm Venezuelan, and starting from that point on, it was like just trying to get the truth out of this character and utilize my body and my voice to implement him, or to get it out there for people to enjoy. And it was a learning experience, as all of them are. All my jobs that I've done in my life, I think I grow a little bit as a person and as an actor, because you have to investigate, you have to learn about human behavior and why they do what they do, and that's really important. So,
wow, you dig in. You do homework like that too, Hannah, as an actress.
For this, I mean, yes. I mean, my actual degree is in biology. So my whole life, I research. I do not like to walk into a situation where I don't know what I'm doing. It gives me anxiety. So as far as homework on roles, I also do homework. Like, even if I have something as simple as an audition, like if they give me a name, who's the casting director, who's the director, who's the producers, I will Google everybody. I will get as much information on them as possible, just to kind of give myself a better understanding of who they're looking for their role. So for this role in particular, my biggest learning curve was somebody who was using narcotics as their vices. I wasn't joking when I said earlier that I have not participated, besides the devil's lettuce, on many narcotics in my life. It was just never something that I fell into. It wasn't. I mean, to each his own. Whatever. That floats your boat. Go for it. That makes
devil's
you happy.
lettuce.
Sure.
I never heard it like that. I like that.
The devil's lettuce.
That should be a strain.
Yeah. And so I really had to kind of reflect on people that I knew personally in my life who went through those types of experiences, or watch LMN TV specials of documentaries of Intervention. You know that show Intervention? I watched like 1 million episodes of that show, particularly females that were featured on that show, because male and female, they have differences when it comes to that kind of stuff. And just really kind of take note on like what they do, that like if somebody who was familiar with this experience, if they were watching me, would they think I was a fraud? Would they think I was a phony? So to me, it was really important to not just look like somebody who was cracked out all the time, but to give people who actually are going through that and who are struggling with that something to look at and just be able to identify with it, honestly, because Sam obviously has her own run with the vices that she, puts into, but it is an epidemic in America where people get hooked on these things and they can't find their way out. So I did want to give kind of like a justice to people who are going through that. So that was kind of like my biggest learning curve. And actually it was really rewarding when at the Dunedin Film Festival in Florida, Des, who worked on the film with us, she had a friend who ended up attending the festival in Florida, and she watched the film, and she messaged me privately on Instagram after watching the film and saying, thank you for kind of bringing light to this issue that a lot of people go through with narcotics and having drug-related issues, because she said, I'm going through that. I'm sober now, but it was really nice to see somebody. It was really nice. Yeah, it was really nice to see somebody do it well and not make you look like a train wreck at the same time. So that it made me feel good.
Oh, wow.
It really did, yeah.
That's a big compliment.
That's great. That's cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, shit. That probably would have reduced me to tears. Like, oh man.
Yeah, it did. I was sitting in bed and I'm like, oh my god.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
No, awesome. No, that's
and you know what? Yeah. And you know what? In the middle of finding out how the characters were, the other thing that is really, really important is the relationship between them. And with Sam, it was a process, because they were like fighting, but at the same time they were kind of like being attracted to each other little by little without even them knowing it. So they started like helping each other, like I want to do it, but I don't, and stuff like that. But to me, anyways, I mean, my character, he actually falls in love with Sam, and getting to that process, it was really, really interesting. It wasn't hard to fall in love with Sam because, I mean, look at Hannah. but you have to find that essence, you know? And so in the end, it wasn't that easy because it was like, you are in a bad place and you're weird, but at the same time you have something that, wow, it really attracts me, and that I start to love, and doing it little by little throughout the whole story. That was really important as well, and the fact that, you know, they are trying to live the American dream. They're trying to reach their goals and everything in the middle of that storm, and that was what made these two characters so interesting and so deep and great, you know.
For me, I personally really loved the juxtaposition between obviously your typical American who could have everything if they really wanted to, and then somebody who's really fighting for that American dream and is not quite reaching it yet. And both of them, you know, regardless of their situation, they're both in the same, you know, shithole.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
So it was kind of like a play on what you see every single day walking around is, you know, you see somebody who was born here who has, you know, all the ability to really do something with their lives, who kind of just throws it away. Meanwhile, you have somebody who's really fighting for what you have and the opportunities that you have. And, you know, it's like kind of just like, I feel like Sam being with Paz was kind of like a realization moment where, you know, it doesn't matter where you are, who you are, where you come from, you can still find yourself in bad situations. And I think that was something that they connected on and really like, okay, we knew that we weren't bad people, you know, Sam and Paz, they knew that each of them weren't bad. You know, they were honestly a little bit selfish. You know, it was like, my problem's worse than yours, or my problem's worse than yours, or I need this. Well, I need this to work, you know. And then eventually it was kind of like a cohesive effort where both of them were just like, okay, well, we're both kind of fucked. So why don't we just, you know, work together? And obviously, you know, like Carlos said, like they ended up kind of just loving each other, regardless on what that love was. They did love each other, because they were the only person that they had during that struggle for each other. So I think it was really honestly lovely. And we got some great feedback, especially in the festival, just about that from the audience, was that they really enjoyed watching Sam and Paz kind of like force themselves to love each other. So,
and that's what makes the story so special. And I know that Juan knew that from the beginning.
So this is what's beautiful, because that, you know, you guys got awards to prove how dope and how well connected you guys reach people and won awards out this mother. You know what I mean?
It's true.
So you know, you guys did a wonderful job, and I really can't wait to see even more people lay their eyes on this bad boy. Because again, Juan, right? It's right there in the iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, DirecTV, ATT, YouTube, even more, right? Because I mean, you pimping it out to wherever we can get it more on, right? We're gonna go worldwide, baby.
He's on every corner, every corner.
Samland, come on. Yeah, Poppy, that's something for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's what it is, though. Because this is what, you know. Look what he's achieved, folks. You know, from this independent filmmaker doing his indie, but look, he everywhere now. You know, he started small, and now look. I mean, just the progression within 109 podcasts. Like, wow, look at you. And then thank you for bringing these wonderful people into my life here. You know, it was such an honor to meet you both. You know, I'm blessed to have this opportunity. And,
thank you, Al.
As a fan, just as a fan of film and actors and actresses, thank you guys for being brave and bold and putting yourselves out there to entertain us. That takes a lot of courage. So thank you guys for doing that. I mean, even though Hannah just stumbled into it, like, oops, hey, I'm an act, hey, nah. That made me laugh.
That's actually
This is an accident.
you did a really great job on, doing that whole. That's exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
That was so far though. But just thank you guys for what you do. You're blessing us, with smiles, enjoyment. Juan, obviously you're not behind because you're murdering it. Amazing writer, director, producer. And I can't wait to what else you bring to the table.
Yeah.
Next project.
He is the man.
He is. Yeah, for real, yo. So keep getting the
reason
awards.
for this all.
Yes, Juan Pablo, kiddo. That's right, yo.
Thank you.
Nah, you rock, kiddo. So again, thank you for hanging out with me today. And the Crusaders family and all. Yo, folks, let me show this one more time. I need you guys to go visit samlandmovie.com. Check it out. All right, this trailer reviews. You can watch it now. I got all them links right there.
You can watch it right now if you want to.
Yeah. Ooh, VOD.
Yes,
all right, video on demand,
VOD.
kiddos. And then you can please follow the amazing Hannah right here, Hannah Bulicki, por favor, on the Instagram.
Thank
Then you can follow Carlos on Instagram and Twitter at Carlos Montilla. All the links will be at the bottom, too, worry. On Instagram and Twitter. And on TikTok, and now he's going to be ticking and talking. Carlos Montilla, actor with 2 A's. He's going to start giving you the dope moves. Hey. And then with the bangles. Remember the bangles? Yo, walk like that.
The bangles. Yeah, the bangles.
Right? I'm old. Right? Can't you tell? All right. And then obviously follow the Big Man One on Twitter and Instagram at JP Reyes 305. Representing the 305, baby.
Yes, sir.
He's gonna take that away from Pitbull. He's really new. He's the new Mr. 305.
Yes.
That's it, kiddo. It's a wrap, yo. He's the new legend.
All right.
Thank you again, everybody. Hasta la
Thank you.
próxima.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.